Okay, we are at a Corps of Engineers park up in northern Minnesota called Sandy Recreational Area on Big Sandy Lake. We're on campsite 36 in the northern loop. There's two loops to this campground that are connected by a dam. So we're all set up here. There's electric on the site and water nearby, as well as a dump station, showers, and free laundry. The price is, I think, $30 a night. No, it is $26 a night, excuse me. And we get it for $13 with our Senior Access America the Beautiful Pass. Now I'll take a little ride around the park. Oh, Nick's not happy that I'm leaving him. Here's the entrance to the northern loop. The northern loop seems a little newer, and the sites are further apart. Some pit toilets. They're all pretty level and big rig friendly. The southern loop, I think, is older, and the sites are close together, and they're on a little peninsula that make it very hard to maneuver. The northern loop does not have flush toilets. You have to cross the dam to get there. But you can see how nice and wide spaced apart the sites are. There's some trees here and there. We have good sky access for our Starlink satellite. Some sites are pull-through, and some are back in. Hi. There's a camp host that's very attentive to everything that's needed around here. The place is in really nice shape. Bathrooms are clean. There's garbage cans all over the park. Here's one of the boat landings that gets you into the southern part. Here's one of the boat landings that gets you into, here, I have to see if I'm recording here. Yes, I am. That gets you into the southern part of the water on the low side of the dam. Or no, it's the high side of the dam. And there's parking for your boats as well as a boardwalk for fishing. There are recycling and waste cans all over. Dumpsters down here. There's even rakes and shovels that you can take back to your campsite if you wish. Here's a little playground area. Whoa, there we go. A playground area for children. This is a little visitor center with history about the locks and the dam. Here's the dam. Vehicles are not allowed to drive over, but bicycles can. This here is one of the locks. I believe they're not operating at this time because the water levels are up high enough. On the left is the high side of the dam. On the right is the low side. There's a nice log pavilion and picnic area. Now we're on the southern loop. These sites are tighter, closer together. We made the mistake of driving down here. It does say dead end, but there's no turnaround at the end. So when you get down, you end up doing like a 3-point, 4-point, 5-point turn to get out of here. Okay. Here's the nice clean shower building and bathrooms, flush toilets, and a free washer and dryer. They ask that you limit your loads to 1 load per camper per day. Now these sites are close to the water on each side of this peninsula, and there are also little docks by each site where you can hook up your boat. So that makes these very desirable, I am sure, with fishermen in the area. You can see all the little docks with steps going down. to each of the individual docks. It's a pretty nice setup. This is the end that really doesn't have much of a turnaround. This is where we had to do like a 6 or 7 or 8 point turn to get out of here again when we accidentally pulled down here. The rest of the distance down this peninsula are tenting sites. You can park here and walk down to your tenting site, and they also have electric hookups. Some people park crossways, some people park straight in or backed in. Down on the left is a fish cleaning station, which is kind of nice to have nearby, but not too stinky next to the campers. There's a memorial in the middle to the people who were displaced from the Native Americans when the Native Americans were rushed off to other reservations in the area. And there is a memorial placard up there. Here's another boat landing to get down onto the high side of the water. This is all the headwaters of the Mississippi. So the people that were displaced, I can't pronounce the name of it, but I'll spell it later when I go up there by the memorial. I pedaled back up here yesterday, but I didn't have the audio going on my camera here. It's just a fake GoPro wannabe. Here's a nice little weather station that I think they use to collect data for the area. Up here is the maintenance shop, as well as a storm shelter, an underground bunker storm shelter to utilize in the event of an emergency. And Steve opened it up yesterday. There's steps that go down into the lower area, the lower chamber. Here is an automated fee pay station. Long gone are the days of put the envelope in the post with a check or cash. Everything now is credit card. You can reserve online if you wish and pay for your sites that way, either days in advance or the day of. You can look up, make sure that your campsite is available to take it that day. Or you can come over to this kiosk and pay this way, or buy your launch permits for the boat ramps. Now down in this area is a swimming beach with additional parking and also room for more people with boat trailers. And here's some additional camping sites, also all with electric, nestled back in by the trees and the grass. And here is the next boat landing for on the low side of the dam that goes out into the water. Kind of picturesque. Good morning. Here it's talking about the fishes in the area. There's special regulations for muskie and walleye and sunfish. They are experiencing the Eurasian water milfoil weeds. They ask that you clear them all off your boats. Here's the information on the fees and the passes. And this is part of the Mississippi River State Water Trail System. Sorry if this is a little wobbly. I have the camera attached to the handlebars of my bike. So here's the rest of the campsites down here in kind of a nice little quiet area. And this last one is a group site that can be reserved for a group of people. This is a highly used recreational lake, I believe, in the summer, that there's a lot of people around. So I think if you were going to reserve here, you better get your reservations in early, because the entire water system is lined by a lot of cottages. So I'm sure the lake is busy with jet skis and fishermen and pontoon boats cruising around. We did see some resorts in the area that also do rent pontoon boats. Here's another nice playground area and picnic area right by the beach. Oh, I got somebody coming up behind me. So that's about it for this Corps of Engineers campground. We do enjoy going to the Army Corps of Engineers because they do honor our half-price pass. It's pretty quiet here. You're not near any main roads or highways. It seems to be very abundant with wildlife and birds, and we've seen sandhill cranes going over. We saw some eagles earlier. Saw some Baltimore Orioles up in the pine trees. Here we go, back over to the bridge to the north side. And I'll finish up the video by just making a little loop through the rest of the campsites on the north side. They are pretty nice. There are water fill stations throughout the park, but there's not water at each site. And there is a dump station at the north end and the south end entrances. There's some nice sites overlooking the marsh and kind of some ponds. Down this way is a little peninsula with more tenting sites. You can go back in here, and there's also a photography booth for photographing wildlife. That's kind of a shroud or a hut with wood slats that you can aim your cameras through. This site here is blocked off. I think they're trimming the trees. We see workers all over the place. It's a very well-maintained park. And here's the final loop back to our site. Like I said, there's garbage cans, recycle bins. Here's some of those rakes I was talking about.